Adam's story, top real estate investment strategies for 2024. Adam had always been a practical man. He worked hard, saved diligently, and planned for the future. But there was one area of life that had always intrigued him yet remained unexplored: real estate investing. The idea of owning property, generating rental income, and watching his investments grow over time was appealing. After years of reading, researching, and cautiously watching the market, Adam decided it was time to take the plunge. He was ready to embark on a new journey, one that could potentially transform his financial future. In the early days of Adam's journey, he spent countless hours understanding the different types of real estate investments. He started with residential properties. Single-family homes seemed like the safest bet, a good way to dip his toes into the water. These were the kinds of homes he grew up in, the ones he knew best. But as he delved deeper, he realized there was a whole world beyond single-family homes. One day, as he was exploring different neighborhoods, Adam noticed a duplex for sale. He paused, considering the potential. Why not have two income streams from one property? He thought. It was a new concept to him, the idea of multifamily homes. The more he explored, the more possibilities he uncovered. Vacation rentals, office buildings, retail spaces, even industrial properties like warehouses. Each type of property had its own unique set of challenges and rewards, and Adam was eager to learn about them all. The most surprising discovery for Adam was real estate investment trusts, REITs. Here was a way to invest in real estate without actually buying or managing properties. It was a new world, but one that intrigued him. He could diversify his investments and reduce his risk by owning shares in a company that managed large-scale properties. It was an option he kept in mind as he continued his exploration. As Adam considered his options, he knew he had to weigh the risks. Real estate wasn't without its pitfalls, and he wanted to be prepared. The first thing that came to mind was market fluctuations. Adam had seen friends and family struggle during economic downturns, where property values plummeted and homes were left unsold. It was a sobering reminder that real estate wasn't a guaranteed win. There was also the risk of vacancies. Adam had always been diligent with his savings, but he knew that relying on rental income meant he had to be prepared for periods when a property might sit empty. Then there was the ongoing maintenance. Adam wasn't a handyman by nature, and the thought of managing repairs was daunting. But he also understood that with proper planning, these challenges could be managed. Yet, despite the risks, the rewards were equally compelling. The idea of generating rental income was appealing, an additional stream of revenue that could support his long-term financial goals. And then there was the potential for property appreciation. Adam had seen how his parents' home had increased in value over the years, and he couldn't ignore the potential for long-term wealth building. What excited Adam the most were the tax advantages. As he dug deeper, he learned about the various deductions available to real estate investors: mortgage interest, property taxes, even depreciation. It was a complex world, but one that could significantly enhance his returns. And the possibility of using leverage to amplify his investments? That was the final piece that convinced Adam he was on the right path. With a clearer understanding of what he wanted to achieve, Adam turned his attention to financing. He knew this would be a critical part of his journey. Traditional mortgages seemed straightforward enough, but Adam was intrigued by the other options available. FHA loans offered lower down payments, something that could be beneficial for a first-time investor like himself. Then there were VA loans, a perk he wished he had as a civilian, but he noted them for future reference when discussing investments with friends in the military. Adam also learned about private loans and hard money loans, both of which offered quicker access to cash but came with higher interest rates. He considered these carefully, understanding they could be useful for more aggressive strategies like fixing and flipping properties. But it was seller financing that really caught his attention. The idea of negotiating directly with the property owner for financing terms seemed like a smart move, especially if he ever found himself in a tight spot with traditional lenders. As Adam began running the numbers, he realized the importance of calculating his potential returns accurately. He learned about cap rates, cash-on-cash returns, and net operating income. These were more than just numbers. They were the keys to making informed decisions and ensuring his investments would be profitable. It was complex, but Adam loved the challenge. Each calculation brought him closer to understanding the true potential of his investment. Adam knew that finding the right property would be the turning point of his journey. Location was everything. This much he knew from years of living in different cities. He started his search close to home, in neighborhoods he was familiar with, but quickly realized the importance of market analysis. It wasn't just about finding a nice house. It was about understanding the economic drivers of the area, the demand for rentals, and the potential for future growth. He became meticulous in his research, using tools like comparative market analysis to compare properties and understand their true value. He conducted rental market analyses, studying local rent trends and occupancy rates. The more he learned, the more confident he became in his ability to spot a good deal. When he finally found a property that piqued his interest, Adam didn't rush in. He hired a professional inspector to conduct a thorough inspection, ensuring there were no hidden issues. He even went a step further, commissioning a property condition assessment for a detailed analysis of the building's systems and components. He reviewed legal documents, checked zoning regulations, and made sure everything was in order. By the time he made an offer, Adam felt ready. He had done his due diligence, and he was confident in his decision. Purchasing his first rental property was a major milestone, but Adam quickly realized that owning property was only the beginning. Managing it effectively was a whole new challenge. The first step was finding reliable tenants. Adam developed a rigorous screening process, checking credit scores, verifying income, and contacting references. It was time-consuming, but he knew that selecting the right tenants would make all the difference. With tenants in place, Adam focused on the lease agreement. He worked closely with a lawyer to draft a comprehensive contract that covered everything, from rent payment terms to maintenance responsibilities. It was a learning curve, but Adam knew that having a strong lease in place would protect both him and his tenants. The day-to-day management of the property was more demanding than Adam had anticipated. There were maintenance requests to handle, bills to pay, and occasional disputes to resolve. He briefly considered hiring a property management company, especially when the responsibilities began to weigh on him. But for now, Adam was determined to manage the property himself. It was his investment after all, and he wanted to learn the ropes firsthand. As Adam settled into the rhythm of property management, he knew it was time to get a handle on the legal and tax aspects of real estate investing. He familiarized himself with the local landlord-tenant laws, ensuring he understood both his rights and those of his tenants. This knowledge proved invaluable when he had to navigate a minor dispute over a security deposit. By following the proper legal procedures, Adam was able to resolve the issue without any lasting conflict. Tax season brought its own set of challenges. Adam quickly realized that real estate offered unique tax benefits, but taking full advantage required careful planning. He learned about depreciation and how it could reduce his taxable income, and he meticulously documented every expense, from mortgage interest to repairs. When he discovered the concept of a 1031 exchange, Adam saw the potential for deferring capital gains taxes, a strategy he filed away for future use. To ensure he was making the most of these opportunities, Adam consulted with a tax professional who specialized in real estate. Together, they developed a tax strategy that maximized his deductions and minimized his liabilities. It was complex, but Adam felt a growing sense of confidence. He was not just an investor. He was a savvy business owner, managing his assets with precision. As the years passed, Adam's experience grew, and so did his ambitions. He began to think about scaling his investments, building a diverse portfolio that could provide long-term financial security. He started exploring different types of properties, expanding beyond residential real estate into commercial and industrial investments. Diversification, he learned, was the key to mitigating risk and ensuring a stable income. Adam also thought about the future. He considered the various exit strategies available to him: selling properties, refinancing, or even passing them on to his children. Legacy planning became a new focus, as Adam wanted to ensure that his investments would continue to provide value for his family long after he was gone. Looking back, Adam realized how far he had come. What started as a curiosity had blossomed into a successful real estate portfolio. He had learned the ins and outs of the industry, navigated challenges, and celebrated victories. But most importantly, Adam had built a foundation of wealth that would support his financial goals for years to come. As he prepared for the next stage of his life, Adam knew that his journey in real estate was far from over. There were always new opportunities to explore, new markets to conquer, and new lessons to learn. But with the knowledge and experience he had gained, Adam was ready for whatever the future held. And so Adam's story continues, a testament to the power of real estate investing and the rewards it can bring to those who dare to take the plunge.